everyone, I'm Jess and this class is going to be a gentle yoga flow, perfect for an early morning stretch to wake up every part of the body. So we're going to start lying down, finding your Shavasana, your corpse pose. We want the legs as wide as the mat, flat on the back, arms down by your sides and face the palms up to the ceiling. And just allow the body to be flat. If you feel any pressure through your lower back, then just take a bend through the knees. Feet are still at mat distance, and just let the knees fall in together. Ideally, we want to feel the whole spine on the floor. Just starting to notice your own breath. Every inhalation, feel the stomach rise, feel the ribs broaden, feel the chest lift. And then as you exhale, the chest lowers, the ribs draw in, the stomach sinks. Inhale in the cold air through the nostrils and exhale as you feel the warmer air leave your body. On your next inhale, we're going to control that breath and take a count to 4. Hold it there for a second, feel it in the chest. And then as you exhale as we count to 4, feel everything softening. Continue with this equalized breath. And on your next inhale, we're going to bring the knees up into the chest, hugging them in, taking the arms and wrapping them around the knees, taking a little rock from side to side. Taking a hold of the knees and starting to make circles with them. Just a couple of circles one way, and then a couple the opposite way. Feeling that core engage slightly to keep you balanced. And bringing the knees into the chest, we're going to plant the left foot on the floor, keep a bend through that knee. With the right leg, we're going to straighten it out, take the sole of the foot to the ceiling. Keep the foot flexed, keep the toes drawn down towards the face. Then just taking a hold behind the thigh, keeping the upper body relaxed, keeping the face relaxed. The leg doesn't have to be straight, you can keep a little bend through it if it feels a little much on the hamstrings. But just start to pull that leg in, closer and closer with every breath. On your next exhale, we're going to release the leg, take the ankle onto the knee of the left leg. With that right knee, we're going to push it away from you. Still with the foot flexed, we're then going to bring the legs in towards the body. Threading the hands around the left thigh and taking a hold. Both feet are now flexed, that right knee is still drawing away from you as you start to pull the legs in towards the body. You should start to feel a nice big stretch from the outer right thigh and into the glute. And releasing the left leg, take the hands out beside you, rest them down into the floor. We're just going to let the legs fall over to the left-hand side until the legs find the floor and rest them there. And then just taking the gaze down your right shoulder. As we inhale, we push through, come back to center. Unhooking the legs, plant the right foot on the floor. Inhale the left leg up to the ceiling, taking a hold behind the thigh. Make sure those toes are pulling down towards the face. And again, if it's too much strain, then keep a bend through the knee. Bend as much as you need to. You'll still be working into the hamstrings. Every exhalation, just starting to pull that leg in a little closer. And then as we release that leg, the ankle goes onto the right knee. That left knee is pushing away from you. Already feel that stretch on the outer hip. And then as we pull the legs in towards the body, we take a hold behind the right thigh. Keep the feet flexed, keep the legs active. Keep that resistance, keep the left knee pushing away. And start to draw those legs in as close to the body as you can, so that you feel that nice big stretch in the left glute. And then taking the arms down by the sides, keep them at shoulder height, as you drop the legs over to the right side. And take the gaze down that left shoulder. Still focusing on the breath. Just noticing how it's a little more challenging to control it in a twist. On your next inhale, we're going to come back through center. This time as we release the legs, we take them both to the ceiling. Take a hold behind the thighs, and we're just going to start to roll up and down the spine. Feel every part of the spine connect with the mat. Build up some momentum until you come all the way up onto the bum. And finding a cross-leg position. From here, as we inhale, we want to take the hands to the ceiling. Take the gaze up to the thumbs. As you exhale, we're folding forwards, placing the hands in front of you. Just letting the upper body fall through the arm space. Resting the head, resting the chest on the floor. On your next inhale, we're going to take the right hand out to the side. As you inhale, we're going to peel the left hand up towards the ceiling. Feeling this twist, open out the chest. Exhale, float the left hand down. Take it to the left side. Inhale the right hand up. Exhale, hands down. Bring both hands in front of you. Stretch through the side bodies. Keep the sit bones pushing down into the floor. On your next inhale, walking the hands back in towards the body and taking them all the way above you. Pull into the ceiling. As you exhale, the left hand's going to come behind you and quite close towards your bum. The right hand's going to come to the outside of your left knee. Inhale as you lift and lengthen. Exhale as you twist, gazing down the left shoulder. Inhale, hands to the ceiling, turn to face forwards. Exhale, right hand behind, left hand to right knee. Inhale, find length. Exhale as you twist, gazing down the right shoulder. Inhale, hands to the ceiling. Exhale as you place the hands in front of you. Roll over the knees and find your tabletop position. You're making your way there however you can. So setting up our tabletop, we want our wrists under the shoulders. Spread out through the fingers, turn the biceps to face forwards. Knees are under the hips, feet are relaxed. Engage the core. Gaze down in between your hands. On your next inhale, we're going to take the head and the tail into the ceiling. Sink the stomach to the floor. As you exhale, we'll push the mat away, round through the back, and take the gaze to the belly button. Inhale as you come up. Really pull the chest through the arm space, pull the shoulders down the back. Exhale as you round through the back. Tuck the tailbone under, tuck the chin to the chest. One more time, big inhale into your cow posture. And as you exhale into cat. Really feel that rounding through the back, shoulder blades down the sides of the body. Inhale as you come back to your flat back. Take an exhale here. On your next inhale, we're going to take the right hand up towards the ceiling. Take the gaze up with it. As you exhale, we're going to thread it through the left hand on the body, sinking the shoulder down. Rest the head. With that left hand, just a gentle push. See if you can just push that left shoulder back a little bit. This might be enough for you. If you want to come into a deeper twist, take the left hand to the ceiling and drop it down the right hand side of the body. Maybe even hooking it onto the right thigh. And make sure the pressure through the knees is equal. Try not to sink over to one side. On your next exhale, that left hand comes back round, plant it on the floor. Inhale the right hand all the way back to the ceiling. Exhale as we float down, tabletop. Inhale the left hand up. Exhale to thread it through. Rest the shoulder, rest the head. And then a gentle push into the right hand and stack the shoulders on top of each other. Maybe take the right hand to the ceiling and then drop it down the left hand side of the body, Maybe finding that left thigh. Just come a little deeper into the twist. If you're feeling a lot of pressure on the knees, push the tops of the feet into the floor and take a little bit of that away. On your next exhale, right hand finds the floor. Inhale, left hand all the way to the ceiling, gaze up with it. Exhale back, tabletop. Nice, then we're going to take the knees just a little wider than the hips. Shift the weight over the wrists. Keep the core nice and strong as we start to make little circles. So imagine you're holding a belly button, you're holding a pencil in your belly button, and you're making these little circles. And then the circles are going to start to get a little bigger. And a little bigger. And then so big that the bum grazes the heels as you come round. And when you're next at the top of the mat, take those circles the opposite way. This time starting big. Keep strong through the shoulders, keep pushing the mat away from you. And then starting to make those circles a little smaller. Until we find ourselves back to center. And then just draw the knees back under the hips. So from here, we're going to extend the right leg out behind you. And then we're going to bend at the knee, place the foot in between the hands. So from here, we want to send the chest forwards, making sure that the knee is stacked over the ankle here. Send the chest forwards. On your inhale, we're going to come up, place the hand onto that right knee. And then we're just going to start to sink the hips down towards the floor. You want to straighten out the arms as much as you can. Keep this resistance. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Start to sink the hips down. So you should feel the core engaging here. Just really starting to feel that stretch on the hip flexor. If you feel you can come a little deeper, then take that right foot out a step in front of you. And as you sink further down, you'll feel more of a stretch there. But try and keep the upper body pulling back. Keep the chest lifted so we're not just sinking into the lower back. And as you bring the hands to the floor, we're going to start to straighten out that front leg so the hips are pushing towards the back of the mat. Then start to pull the toes in towards the face. Keep the chest pulling forwards. So you should feel a nice big stretch on that right hamstring. If you're not and you want to come deeper, then we start to fold over that straight leg. On your next inhale, we're going to roll the body forwards, hands to the floor. Step that foot back into your tabletop. On your next inhale, the left leg extends out behind you. And then as we step it in between the hands, make sure that the knee is stacked under the ankle. The ankle is stacked under the knee. Come up, hands onto the left knee. Push the knee away from you. Feel those lower ribs drawing in. Tuck that tailbone under. And then as we start to sink forwards, the shoulders relax. And start to feel that nice stretch on the hips. Again, you might feel you can come a little deeper. Start to wiggle that left foot forwards. And sinking down as far as you can. With the upper body still drawing back, the core is still engaged. And with the hands on the floor for support, start to straighten out that front leg. Now it doesn't have to be completely straight. As you start to pull the toes in, you'll still feel the stretch on the hamstring. Keep the chest pulling forwards. And then maybe if you want to come a little deeper, you can start to fold over the leg. As long as you're feeling the stretch on the back of that left leg, we're doing it right. On your next inhale, we're rolling forwards, hands to the floor. Step that foot back into tabletop. And we're going to walk the hands in and come up to standing on the knees. So making sure that the knees are hip distance apart. And we're going to take that right foot out to the side. So pushing down through the knife edge of that right foot. Make sure everything's in line. The hip, the knee, the ankle. And we're just going to place the left hand on the floor. The right hand is then going to come up towards the ceiling, roll the shoulder back, and take the hand overhead. So we're stretching through the whole right side of the body. Really pull through the fingers. Maybe even taking the gaze up towards the ceiling. On your next inhale, we push through that left hand, come up through center. Right hand onto the leg, left hand comes up and over. Maybe even sliding that right hand down the leg. As we push the left hip away, you'll feel a nice stretch on the left side. Inhale, use that core to come back through. Left hand to the floor. Exhale as you sink into it. Push that right hip up to the ceiling. Inhale through center. Exhale as you slide the hand down that right leg. Inhale back through center, hold it there. Bring that right knee in. Take the left leg out. Just making sure everything is in line again. Push through that knife edge of the foot, grind down through the foot. Right hand to the floor. Inhale, left hand up and all the way over. Peeling that left shoulder back, peel the ribs back. Strong through that right arm still. As you inhale, we come up through center. Left hand finds the leg, right hand comes up and over. Start to push that right hip away from you. Big inhale, windmill the arms, hand to the floor. Exhale when you get there. Really sink into it. Inhaling over. Exhale when you're there. Inhale back through center. Bring that left knee back under the hips. Place the bum back on the heels and walk the hands out in front of you. So keep the knees together at the moment. Place the head on the floor. And just feel a nice stretch through the side bodies. Keep sending the bum down towards the heels. If this feels too much on the shoulders, you can rest the arms down by the sides. If you'd like to feel a further stretch through the shoulders, start to wiggle the hands together, maybe so much that the thumbs even touch. On your next inhale, roll the body forwards, find your tabletop position. Then we're just going to step the hands one step forwards. Sink the hips down slightly, try and find that straight line from the shoulders to the knees. Then as we bend the elbows back into the ribs, lower down with control. Lower the body all the way to the floor. And then as we take the hands out, step in front and towards the corners of the mat. Come up onto the fingertips, elbows to the ceiling. Tuck the chin to the chest. Then on a big inhale, we push through the hands, keep the chin to the chest until the arms are straight, and then take the head up to the ceiling. As you exhale, we start to roll down the spine, keep the head high until it's at the floor, and tuck the chin to the chest. Inhale as you push up. Take the gaze up. Keep pushing through the tops of the feet. Exhale as you roll down. Think of this as a spinal wave. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. And then as we bring the hands up back under the shoulders, push back over the knees. Send the bum to the heels. Coming back into your balasana, your child's pose. Just rest in the head, taking some nice big deep breaths. And on your next inhale, we're going to tuck the toes under, send the hips to the ceiling into your downward dog. Push through the hands and the feet. And keep a bend through the knees, come high up onto the tiptoes. Push through the hands and feel like you're sending your chest to your thighs. Keep the chin tucked into the chest, strong through the upper body. And you can start to pedal out through the legs, sinking one heel down at a time. Making these nice, gentle, mindful movements. On your next inhale, bend through both knees, look forwards. Start to walk the feet to meet the hands. Keep a bend through the knees as you take opposite hand to elbow. And just let the upper body fall over the legs. Take a little shake through the neck. Releasing off any tension you might be holding in the neck or the shoulders. Just letting the whole upper body fall over the legs. And releasing the hands down to the floor. On your next inhale, start to straighten out the legs. Start to straighten out the back. So the hands come up the shins until you find a flat back. Chest pulls forward, shoulders pull back. As you exhale, we'll come back into our forward fold, hands to the floor. The knees can be bent. As you inhale, take up half lift. Straighten the legs, straighten the back. Exhale, forward fold. One more time, inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. On your next inhale, we're going to roll through the spine, coming up to standing. Keep the chin tucked to the chest until you're all the way up. And roll the shoulders down the back. On an inhale, we're going to send the hands to the ceiling. Take the gaze up with you. Join the palms together. We're going to make a pistol grip. So join the index fingers together. Inhale as you find length. Pull the shoulders back behind you as much as you can. And then keep this length as we then just start to tilt over to the left-hand side. Try not to move the hips. Just tilting the upper body. Inhale to come back to center. Exhale over to the right. Inhale to center. We're going to release the left hand down to your side. Inhale as you find length through the fingers. Exhale as you slide that left hand down the leg, tilting over to the left side. Making sure this right shoulder is pulled back. We've still got a nice open chest. On your next inhale, we're going to windmill the arms. Right hand to your side, left hand to the ceiling. Inhale as you find length, before you exhale and start to tilt over. Inhale, hands to the ceiling. Exhale into your forward fold, hands to the floor. Inhale, half lift, find a flat back. Exhale, hands down, step back into a plank. From here, we send the hips straight to the ceiling into your downward facing dog, your Adho Mukha Savasana. Push through the hands, send the chest to the thighs. And then on your next inhale, we're going to float the right leg to the ceiling. As you exhale, we're going to step the foot to the outside of the right hand. So here we want to make sure that the knee is over the ankle. The hands are under the shoulders, the chest pulls through the arm space. Lower that left knee to the floor, untuck the toes. Sink the hips down as far as you can. Keep the chest nice and lifted. So you might find that you can come a little deeper and come down onto the forearms. So try the left forearm first. If this feels okay, maybe the right can join in. So we're still pulling the chest through the arm space. That knee is still hugging in towards our body. Just breathing into it, allowing the hips to sink to the mat. On your next inhale, we come back up onto the hands. You start to bend into that left knee, hugging the heel towards the bum. And as you rotate the right hand over, maybe taking a hold of the foot. If you don't have a hold of the foot, we just work with this twist, work on the right shoulder drawing back. If you have a hold, then just start to pull the heel in towards the bum. Still sinking the hips towards the floor. And bringing the hand back to center, lowering the knee back down. With the right foot, we're just going to turn the toes like 45 degrees off the mat. With the right hand, we're just going to put a bit of pressure into that knee. Keep the chest nice and lifted. Just opening out that right hip. Bringing the hand back to center. Turn the foot to face forwards. Tuck the left toes under. Knee comes off the mat before we step back into a plank. Send the hips straight up into your down dog. Taking a little pedal through the legs, maybe a wiggle through the hips there. And then on an inhale, we send the left leg to the ceiling. On your exhale, we step it to the outside of the left hand. So again, making sure that the knee and ankle are in line. Then as we lower the back knee down, we untuck the toes. Send the chest forwards, roll the shoulders down the back. Sinking into your lizard lunge. Again, the option of coming onto the forearms. Right forearm first. The left is always a little more difficult. Keep that knee hugging in towards the body. Keep the chest pulling forwards. And we'll all join back together, hands on the floor, as we then start to bend into the right knee. The left hand reaches round, maybe taking a hold of the foot. Just working on this left shoulder drawing back. Maybe the right shoulder can draw forward slightly. Work on the heel, pulling in towards the bum. Don't let the hips pull up, keep them sinking towards the floor. And as the left hand finds the floor, the foot comes back to the floor. We turn the left toes out slightly. And then the left hand just puts a little pressure onto the knee. So the important thing here is the foot and the knee is in line. So if you push it that far that the foot wants to peel off the floor, then let it. Coming back to centre, turn the toes to face forward, hands back to the floor. Tuck the right toes under, knee away from the mat. This time we're going to step the right foot forwards. So it's outside of the right hand. And then as we sink the bum down, we come into our yogi squat. So the toes might want to turn out about 45 degrees. Make sure we're facing the same way as the knees. Hands to heart center, backs of the arms, push onto the inside of the knees. Lift the chest, push the hands against your heart center. If you find your heels aren't on the floor, maybe take the feet a little wider. If you find they find the floor quite easily, then maybe draw the heels in a little closer. And from your Balasana, we're going to pull forwards as far as you can. See if you can drop the bum down onto the floor, as controlled as possible. Then take the feet a step out in front, pull forwards as far as you can, and start to roll down the spine. As controlled as you possibly can. Keep that core engaged until the whole back is flat on the mat. And then from here, bring the knees up into the chest. Take a little rock from side to side. Just making any movements that feel nice on your spine. Maybe some circles. Maybe you prefer the knees a little further away from the body. And then planting the feet on the floor. Keep them about hip distance apart. And we're just going to sway the knees from side to side. Releasing any negative energy that might be held in the hips. And when the knees and neck's facing the left-hand side, let them stay there and take the right hand out beside you. Take the gaze down the right hand. Coming back through centre and let the knees fall to the right hand side. Stretching out the left hand, taking the gaze down that hand. Then bringing the knees back through centre, straightening the legs out, taking the feet to mat distance, taking the arms down by the sides. Palms up to the ceiling. Take a big inhale. Take a big exhale. Release all the air from the body. And then just allow that breath to come back to its regular rhythm. Just allowing the body to relax, allowing it to be still, allowing the mind to be present. Start to feel the face relaxing. Feel the shoulders and the chest releasing. Relaxing the hips, the glutes, all the way through the legs. And just letting the whole body feel heavy. Just having a moment of stillness. When you're ready, we're going to take the hands overhead. Find a full body stretch, making any last little movements you might feel you need. And as we curl the knees up into the chest, gently rocking from side to side. And staying in this position as we fall over to the side, whichever side you prefer. And then making your way up to seated, whether you feel comfortable. Finishing in a cross-legged position. So thank you very much for joining. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you. Namaste.